2. Apparently, I'm supposed to read this quick synopsis. It says, the case describes the dilemma of the founder and CEO who seeks to grow the company from within while balancing the pressures or other competitors trying to push their way into the fast casual foods category. As they grow, they face the difficult how to meet the company while maintaining their culture. So, what from what you guys have read of the case, what is the fast casual segment?
I remember this one. So it's talking obviously about the food industry, and the fast casual it's almost like a step above fast food. So it's a place kind of got like a nicer culture, a better feel. You can go in, you can sit down if you want, or you can take out. It's just kind of more of a middle class, on the go from work to work type place.
Yeah. Because you're still like going in, it gets fast, that you get your food fast, but it's not as like a fat, like a drive up, I guess you'd say.
It kind of seems like it's a happy medium between drive-through and a sit-down restaurant.
Yeah.
You have an hour or whatever, but fast food is really quick, and this seems to be kind of in the middle where it's instead of sitting at a table and waiting for a waiter, you sit at a counter. Food's better quality than fast food. The prices are cheaper than a table, but more expensive than fast. At least at some point.
Sorry, I'm getting headphones on real quick. I was having some issues with my volume. Okay, so I kind of missed everything that you guys just said. So I got the beginning of it. It was you were talking about the significance or
the difference between fast food and this,
is the casual segment.
Casual, yeah, that's it. That's the word I was thinking of.
Have any of you guys been to a Noodles and Company before?
I have.
I have not.
You have? Because so I kind of heard what you guys are saying, and it's exactly as you described it. It's just very casual, but not as, I'm going to say it, kind of like low class as McDonald's. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's my 2 cents about what it is. Casual, really nice, but not as laid back as.
Are company within this segment?
Sorry, you're kind of cutting out a little, Howard.
Can you repeat that question once more?
Yeah, I hear that.
So what are the challenges that are facing Noodle and Company in this segment?
One challenge that I was thinking of was that they are very unique, right? And it just kind of comes with being unique, the pressure to change or conform with other ideas. And so at least what I was thinking of, to be able to continue in their brand and in their specific idea, they'd have to push away a lot of ideas from other people to try to keep specifically to what they like to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, because there's a lot of them out there that are similar what they're doing, but they have a lot more variety than they do. Well, I know this, or they're a lot more known out, like like Cheesecake Factory and stuff like that. They're more known, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's hard too because they were talking at the end about, do you want to become a franchise? Do you want to stay as their own private kind of company? And yeah, it's trying to find that balance between kind of the culture that they're looking for, but also trying to expand it at a really fast rate in order to compete with all the other kind of companies around them.
True. Yeah, I think that's one of the things that they had a hard time with, was trying to figure out if they want to do that and stuff, and to keep their culture that they started with too as they expand. I think that's really hard.
they could franchise. And they could expand probably very quickly, but then could lose their culture.
Mhm.
That's the whole business. And without it, they might as well close up shop.
Yeah,
Right.
true. Yeah.
What do you guys think? Do you think Noodle and Company can maintain their corporate culture through aggressive growth that they want to do? I mean,
I think
the
so.
money they can,
Sorry, go on.
in rapid growth, you might risk losing control. They could still keep their culture in this aggressive growth expansion.
Well, I think they have some hard times doing it just because of like what they're talking, like some of the things that they are mentioning about how with their places that they're picking, it makes it harder for them to get like the different ingredients that they need, freshness and all that kind of stuff to help. And that's going to change things if they do certain things. Does that make sense?
Right.
Yeah, and I think it's hard too because if you have so many different locations and so many different kind of brands that you're trying to pull off in order to compete, then without those same people going to each building, without kind of someone really watching just the culture of each company, then you kind of just get swept up in just what each individual location is doing. And then I think it could be hard to really maintain the culture that they've tried to have. But I think it could work as long as they're careful and structure it well.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I was thinking of is like there's the danger of franchising, is because, well, at least for me, like if I have this company and somebody's going to franchise it, I'm going to be nervous that they're going to want to do their own thing with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there goes everything that you've worked for, everything you've worked to build up is just out the window. So I feel like that they could franchise if they just had some strict rules that went along with it.
Yeah, they can put that
That's
in the.
kind of like in one of the clauses or something.
Yeah,
I think
I agree with you on that because I think that would be definitely what they're working for. So.
Mm-hmm.
as long as they bring in a very strong like vice president, specifically in franchising, someone with tons of experience to be able to write up a good lease contract to protect the culture from of the new lessee. New ideas,
And I
news. If they could prevent that, then I think that they would be okay.
And I think on top of that is to have this vice president just be an all-star at negotiating.
Yeah. But
Because somebody would definitely try to get around some of the rules
Oh
that come
yeah.
with a franchise. So if you have this guy that's this vice president's in charge of it that just negotiates like a boss, I don't think they'd have any problems with it.
So pretty much just like who you hire is what's going to help
Mm-hmm.
make it go.
Hire for that vice president position.
Yeah.
Yeah, shell out a lot of money and get a good one.
Yeah.
It would definitely be worth it.
It saved them what? What was the estimate for the next 3 years? $80 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
Something like that. Yeah. More than we'll ever look at. That's for sure.
Cutting costs. The next question, and kind of talked about it in the case, kind of conflict between being there at a new location area first, or being the best in that area. When you arrive first, you get the first pick of best employees, you get the best real estate, you get the best location, and the chance impression and create loyal customers. But if you come in late, first pick of all of those things, might be able to resources back. So, in your guys' opinion, and specifically in this case,
You kind of faded out on the last part of that question. So I heard the first part. I don't know about you ladies, but I heard the first part of the question, but then it just kind of faded out. So what was the exact question you were
Yeah,
asking?
I heard the first part about being first there and getting the first picks, but after that I couldn't hear.
is it best to be first in a new area, or is it better to be better for Noodles and Company?
Oh, okay. I remember this part. So there was the specific names they had, like first to something or best to something. What were those names that they used? Do you guys remember that?
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Oh yeah. Let me. What was it?
What were those? What were those specific words they used?
Every guest, every bowl, every time.
No, it was a specific, like, are you going to be the, like you were talking about, are you going to be the first company there or the best company there? And there was a specific phrase that they used. It's not important, I guess. But what I think, I guess, to answer your question, I feel like it's more important to be the best there. The reasons being is, even if you're not first, your reputation will follow. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
'Cause
I think I agree with you. I think that if you are the best, then even if you are the first people, the word of mouth will travel and you'll be known for what you're good at. And then I think you will just naturally be on top if you are the best rather than just being the first. So
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I think too about the word of mouth. I think you're right about that because I heard it's like I can't think of what. It takes like one person to take your name down, but it takes like 10 people to put back up or something like that. And so I think if you're put your name out there, you're doing really good. Got a lot of people. I think that's when you start getting people coming to your place and start becoming more loyal to it because they know
Right.
that they have that backup, and other people say that you're good and
Difficult to
stuff.
make one better because best is so vague. For me, we're making more money, right?
Mhm.
Being best means we have the best real estate employees. We have the best customers. Say, well, being first, me best. First. So it's kind of difficult to say. I don't know what best means. You make some good points on that.
yeah, I feel like they do kind of go hand in hand. Like if you're the first, then you do get first picks, which kind of makes you the best. So I could see how that can be kind of if you're the first, you could be the best. But I think if you do come in after, though, I think there is a way that you can, if you model your company just extremely well, then I think you could be the best and overtake those that come in the first. But I think it's definitely a challenge. It'll be very hard, but yeah, I think it's possible.
I just remembered the phrase that I was thinking of. They call it first to market or best to market.
That's what it was.
You guys
Thank
remember
you.
that, right?
I was gonna annoy me the whole time, but I didn't know that.
Right? It's like, what the heck was that stupid thing? But I actually have about this the first or best thing. In my hometown, they're running out of real estate very quickly for restaurants or businesses because things are taking up all the space, right? So there was one lot open in my hometown for a new restaurant, and we found out that a Chick-fil-A was going to be taking that position. And so there was already a bunch of chicken places. We had a Popeyes in the area, we had a KFC in the area, but Chick-fil-A is just a household name for chicken sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
And even though they were very late in getting to my hometown, they were crazy popular, and they still are to this day. That is the busiest restaurant in my hometown is Chick-fil-A. So it's like even though they were very late in getting there, since they were so popular and everybody loved them, it kind of seemed like they became best in this case, like best to market, and it worked for them.
That's
Anyways,
good. Yeah, that's a good example. I like it.
So I guess as long as you're excellent, you should be in good shape.
yeah.
You should focus
So-
on having.
So I figured that they just need to like trust their marketing, trust their brand, and even if they're not the first restaurant to get into town, they'll still be okay.
So, a super ton of information about the early stages of Noodles and Company, other than, we talked about job, quit, and he got a little part-time job making peanuts, and then started this new business. It wasn't very well. But what do you think that they learned the most out of that?
Sorry, so what was that? I heard, what did they learn most? And then that's where you cut out.
What did they learn from opening Noodles and Company? What was they learned?
I think they definitely learned that it's not as easy as they think it's going to be. I mean, they opened their first one and their projections were way off. They did not very well, but then immediately after they got a brand new location, even though they were making no money from the first. So I think they learned that, to make it big and worth it, you have to take some risk and you have to kind of put all your effort in, because they had a good plan, but then they realized they kind of needed to create almost a brand new plan to make a better culture and to redesign their restaurant. And after they did that, it started to pick up a little bit. So yeah, I think it's just going with what the people want. Even if you have a really good plan, if the people don't like that, then you're gonna have to change. So I think they learned that from the get-go, which was a good learning curve for them, I think.
I think you make it.
Something I was thinking of is they learned how important research is. Because I think from this study that they tried the first location, didn't work out, and then they said that the main guy, Kennedy, went back to doing research. Went back to trying to figure out what was really going on with other noodle companies or other noodle restaurants. And he went back and started researching into those companies. So it seems like he did it a little bit beforehand, but to me, it felt like he learned how important really research is if he wants his restaurant to be profitable.
On that, doing the research and figure out exactly good locations and something that's more than what he thinks it was.
That makes sense.
Kennedy's idea was
No.
just tweak a little bit. His recipe, the ambiance of the research. That first idea really was the big payoff. Might have a really good idea, but if you really could fall flat. So I think you make a good point that research is constantly the most important thing you need to be working on. What is it about the mantra, every guest, every bowl, every time, that helps form their corporate culture? Does it drive corporate profits and structure?
I think, or at least what I believe about that, is it focuses more on the guest, the customer coming in. That they're trying to when it says every guest, every bowl, every time, they have this idea of this is what we want to present, and they want to try to do it every time. So something I thought of, like I said, is it goes back to the customers. It creates this idea of we want to treat every customer the best that we can.
Yeah, I think it goes along with consistency. I think, especially if you go to a restaurant and you have one amazing meal and you go back to the same restaurant and it's just, you have weird service and the food just isn't as good, then that kind of puts you off the restaurant from then on out. So I think he's trying to get that consistency that we are going to pay direct attention to each person that comes in, and each thing you get is going to be the same as the last time, which is going to be good. And yeah, just finding that consistency so there's never any question about how good they are.
I agree with you on that. That sometimes you go in, things will be all different than what you had the first time. So, and then you can be able to go in and order the same thing again and again, and it'll be the exact same that you had it before. Well, they know that they'll help you personally to get that.
And I think that's kind of the craziest part about Noodles and Company to me is, like, my favorite dish there is their Chinese, I can't remember what it's called. Anyways, it uses like Japanese noodles, there's teriyaki sauce, all these different ingredients. And every time I go there, it's the exact same. And you see them make it fresh too, so it's like consistent with so many different variables that could go wrong.
Now I'm gonna have to try it.
It's so good.
It's really good.
So good.
So good.
It's just like down the like for my work, there's one. It's just down there. I just never went before. There's right next to his.
Well, there you go. Now you're gonna have to try it.
So I always go in there instead.
I gotcha.
Well, I think it's really interesting. Reading the case, I think about McDonald's. The excellent archetype of the whole fast food industry. Focus was cost and speed. Probably seen some of those old time commercials of McDonald's rotating grill. He's got like 50 hamburgers, and he's just like putting ketchup on every single one of them as fast as he could. And they had tons and tons of success. And fast. Market. But that's so many different people. I think Noodles and Company has figured out, casual segment doesn't want that. They want the best.
Right.
They want excellent, consistent food. Like if the teriyaki sauce is a little bit, I won't come back. It's got to be every single time. I think that's what's really differentiating themselves, at least just the fast food segment.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm seriously craving some noodles right now.
I know. I was just thinking that. I'm like, I just found out that we're expecting our second kid, and so I'm craving everything. So.
Oh, congratulations!
So you got to tell the teacher to not do case studies about food. Or
I know, right?
then,
That's what I was thinking right now. I'm like, gosh,
this is killing me.
My wife says she's jealous. Next question. How do they plan to expand?
How should they? Is that what you said?
They going with the two options? Like
Plan to expand.
They were kind of going with two different ways. They were talking about franchising, which they would have to give over a lot of control, but they would expand very quickly, and they could be, growing at an exponential rate. Or they could just be really in depth with their marketing and their research, and just themselves find all these locations, try and be the first ones on, and just expand from within. So, I think there's two ways. One is easier to expand, which is franchising, but again, they have that concern of losing some identity. But I think those were the two that they talked about, I think.
Yeah, about doing one of those expansions. but I think you're right on both. Like, you know, if they do one, it would expand them really fast, but they could lose a lot of what their market that they're looking for, or they can go the other route and those expand really slow, but they can be able to maybe hopefully keep a little bit more. But if we do like kind of what you were talking about before, I think, and about, you know, getting a good person in there to say this is what we are expecting, this is what we want, I think that would work out too. So
One thing I think would be interesting to learn about is I remember them talking about expanding to Europe, which when I think of noodles, I think of Italian food, right? So I would be really curious to see how this ends up going in Europe if it does go out there.
yeah, that would be. I mean, I've never been to
Like,
Europe, so I don't know how
right.
their fast food, nice fast food places work out there. I don't know.
They're very picky on their authenticity, so they'd have to be very authentic, but I think it could work.
Right. So that's what I was thinking of. Are they just going to think it's all American cheap food when they're out there?
Yeah, because I grew up in
The
England.
American version of
Mm-hmm.
So sorry, Emily, you said you grew up in England?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you know what it's like.
Yeah, so they have a lot of Chinese and they have a lot of Indian food. And yeah, they're very strict on their authenticity. But I think like a good, healthy, fast-ish place, I think it could work there as long as they market it well. Yeah.
Especially a place like this that isn't as cheap looking. Like it's a little bit classier.
Yeah, exactly.
that would be kind of interesting. Yeah, that works.
Claim that noodles are an international food.
Right.
I think you guys make a great point that it needs to be. So, I guess we'll choose food as well. If you're in Italy, you better be getting your noodles from there. You shouldn't be shipping it from the United States.
Right.
That's true. I feel like if I was in Italy, I wouldn't go to this random American restaurant. I would want to be eating Italian noodles. So yeah, they'd have to do a lot of research on how to do that effectively. But
Yeah. Like we talked earlier about how they're researching and how they need to even have to research for that specific and yeah, whatever.
You have a specific
Their
niche or
specific market.
the market.
Yeah, that's I'm like whatever you want to call it, that specific market that they're searching for.
Okay, guys, I actually have to go. Sorry to leave you hanging.
No worries.
Oh, no.
We can just finish right
Okay, that would be good.
sorry I came so late.
No, you're fine.
what was the most interesting thing that stood out to you? At least to me, it was how they treated all of their employees. I mean, they gave everyone a bonus if they met their goals, even the kids washing dishes. I mean, if they really wanted to hit that mantra, they figured it out. You please the
Right.
employee, they please the customer.
Mm-hmm.
Happy employees mean there will be happy customers.
I couldn't believe the turnover rate. Like people would stay there from high school and have it as a career. I just thought that was crazy because I just assumed those kind of restaurants it's just turnover every 6 months or something. But yeah, really cool how they treat them.
I used to work at a fast food like when I was in high school, and the turnover rate was so bad.
Right. Nobody wants to work there full time or long term.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So,
I think the thing that stood out to me the most from reading this was how big of a focus they put on their brand, on who they are, and staying that way. Because what I was thinking of, if it's a company, you know, I don't care what my restaurant looks like as long as people come in, keep getting food, and keep bringing money into my restaurant.
yeah.
But to them, it's like they were so confident and determined that their brand worked that it was just their number one priority. Like, this is the way we're going to do it. This is how we're going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was pretty interesting that they just were so focused on that, and it showed that they wouldn't change it no matter what.
I mean, I guess you can find out what works, then
Right.
you got to keep it that way. Yeah. So Yep.
I'll post this right now.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Howard.
All right. Appreciate that. Thanks.
Have a
Thanks
good
so much,
night, guys.
Howard.